What is up, guys? Rikakis here, and today we're going to be discussing what I believe is the best pilot weapon for beginning players in Titanfall 2. Now, I am loving the Titanfall 2 multiplayer. I'm having a blast with it. However, beginning players are going to probably find that there's a lot going on. Your first ever match in Titanfall 2 is likely to be, well, a clusterfuck. There is just so much shit going on, and quite frankly, this game does have a relatively steep learning curve, and therefore showcasing a weapon that beginning players can very easily use and hopefully do well and be able to support their team, I think is a very useful thing to do, and that's why I'm making this video. So let's get started. Now, there's a couple of things that a weapon for beginning players simply needs to have, and firstly, it needs to be unlocked early. It would be pretty dumb of me to recommend a gun that's unlocked at level 20. You know, it just wouldn't be realistic. And therefore, looking at the guns that are unlocked right away, I think a lot of players are going to make the mistake of using the very first unlocked assault rifle, the R201 carbine. That's actually what I see most in Titanfall 2. Now, don't get me wrong, that's actually a pretty decent gun, and you aren't going too wrong when using this gun. But I feel that this is a mistake. I feel that beginning players are giving themselves a little bit of a harder time when using this weapon, and again, specifically, it's in the very first class you see when playing Titanfall 2, so most players are just going to use it, do okay, and stick with it. But the gun I would recommend as the best gun for beginning players is actually the first SMG unlocked, the CAR. This weapon is absolutely fantastic. I have been performing extremely well with this weapon, and it exemplifies a weapon that is good for beginning players mainly because its main factor, its main attraction, is ease of use. You have a weapon that, as I said earlier, is unlocked right off the bat. You can select it pretty much immediately. It's the first SMG you get, and it is so unbelievably easy to use. The main problem with the R201C carbine assault rifle is that it has this thing called recoil. Now, that's a very common feature in most shooters, but the CAR has decided, you know what? Fuck all that shit. No recoil for me. I'm going in with laser accuracy. And you can see from the background gameplay some of the long-range kills I'm able to get with this submachine gun is amazing. I honest to goodness outperform the carbine and other assault rifles with this CAR. Now, it doesn't do as much damage at longer ranges as the assault rifles. It does have a steeper damage drop-off to represent that it is a submachine gun. But the fact that, again, it has just no recoil or extremely minimal recoil means that you can very easily put its sights on an enemy and just squeeze the trigger. And you will be able to take down that opponent in most circumstances because, again, all of your shots are hitting. Yes, they're doing less damage, but if you aren't missing any shots because this gun is so accurate, it really quite makes up for that. Furthermore, the sights of this weapon are incredibly easy to use. Just the base iron sights are very clear and very beginner friendly. So, because of the favorable recoil, this weapon performs excellently in medium to long range engagements. That's great. But also, as I said earlier, it's a submachine gun. So it's going to be doing a ton of damage in close range engagements. And you're likely going to be able to outshoot most other people with assault rifles and with other weapons, pretty much everything other than shotguns, in those close range scenarios. So this weapon really just does it all. Great close range, as is an SMG, just dump trucks people with damage, but also the recoil makes it usable to medium and longer range. It's such an easy to use weapon, and that's why it's the best weapon for beginning players. Now, the one more thing I do want to mention in today's video is that I would highly recommend you stick with this, or if you disagree with me and you like another weapon better, that's fine, but stick with this or whatever weapon you prefer for a short time, because leveling up a certain weapon in Titanfall 2 is going to unlock, of course, more mods for it, but the very important thing is that when you get to level 11, it unlocks a second mod slot. This is a massive benefit. Being able to have two, essentially, perks for a weapon, being able to shoot while sprinting and reload faster, or carry more ammo and reload faster, or the mod that I really like is the tactical one that lets you regain your tactical ability when you're getting kills with this weapon. That is incredibly useful, being able to have more invisibility, more grappling hooks, more of the sensor darts that let you know where enemies are around you. That's the one I personally use, and being able to use that, use the information about knowing exactly where enemies are, killing them, and refilling that ability even faster is quite the wombo combo. So don't be afraid to kind of stick with a certain weapon. At least you get it until level 11, unlock that second mod slot, because that is very useful and that will increase your performance. It's a good idea because it'll let you have a great backup, like fallback weapon. Once you get your go-to weapon to level 11, you get that second mod slot, you can then more freely experiment with other weapons, try the new weapons you've unlocked, and then if you don't like them in a match, you can switch back to your very well-performing double mod slotted weapon. That's the thing that I've done, and I find it very, very effective, so I would recommend it to other players as well. So, for beginning players, you want to know the best gun to use, it's the CAR Submachine gun. It's performing so well for me, and I hope it performs as well for you too. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.